Hey, it's Nicole from outerinnerspace, and this video is for Pisces energy and ESP, so how extrasensory perception manifests for Pisces energy. So you can watch this for any Pisces placements, for wherever Pisces is in your natal chart, or for 12th house energy. We all have Pisces somewhere in our chart, and we all have 12th house energy, even if we have no Pisces placements. So we do express that energy, and we've got the essence of Pisces in us somewhere. This series has been designed in that you can watch all the videos because, like Pisces energy, extrasensory perception, it's very multi-layered, very multifaceted, and the idea of the series is that you pick and pull and overlay from the different signs and the different houses and how your natal chart is oriented so that you can get a fuller scope of how extrasensory perception is working for you, because we all have extrasensory perception. It's not just for a specific group of people or a specific sign. Everybody's dealing with extrasensory perception throughout their day and throughout their night, all the time. And it's my feeling that because we aren't educated about ESP and because we are brought up in a society, at least most of us are, where these kinds of subtle senses are cast to the wayside, or, seen as taboo, or you get the side eye when you talk about this stuff or even infer anything about it. And this causes a lot of damage to the psyche, I think, and it also shrinks our experience because we all dream and we all imagine and we all have impulses and instincts and thought downloads and all this kind of stuff that I feel that if we lean into our extrasensory perceptions, we can reduce a lot of anxiety and depression and a feeling of not belonging, because it's part of who we are as humans. We're not just the physical, what we see is what we get. It's everything and everything in between and beyond and past and future. It's all part of our experience. One thing that I've said throughout this series, and the whole essence of this series really, is that it's our responsibility to hone these details and to tune the body in order to refine how extrasensory perception manifests for us. And with the Pisces and Virgo axis, and I would recommend watching the Virgo video, what's really important for Pisces energy and enhancing ESP and developing a relationship with it where we trust it and where we refine it and where it can really help point us on our journey and it can really help our sense of self, is that we need to have a very clear and healthy relationship with our body, with our vessel, and with our place here on earth. Our physical body is how we're connected to the earth. It's a natural element, constantly transmitting and receiving messages. It's receiving messages from source, from our environment, from other people, and it's transmitting messages as well. And for Pisces energy, when you think about how Pisces rules the feet, and then consider with reflexology how the feet has pressure points for all the organs of the body, it's a representation about how Pisces energy has all the representations of the signs in it. And so in order to establish this connection to the earth and this attunement to the vessel, it is important for Pisces energy to pay attention to the feet and doing things like getting reflexology and breaking up any tension in the feet and noticing points of the feet where it doesn't hit the ground, where it doesn't connect, where there are blockages and where pressure is more in the toes or where the heel levitates. It's showing you how connected you are. And so for Pisces energy, a really beautiful thing to do is to put your feet in the earth and connect to Gaia and create that circuit. The body is made up of an electrical grid, and that's your nervous system, and that's Virgo. And so in order to find that sense of belonging and that sense of your place here and that sense of connectivity, and to be able to ground your etheric gifts and to be able to become that bridge and really act as a conduit, establishing this connection to the earth and realizing how your nervous system is interacting with other people's nervous systems, and it's this whole interconnected grid, is really a valuable practice for Pisces energy, and it will regulate and recalibrate your circuits and your system and your perception. When you think about Pisces and Virgo, the axis of the 6th house and the 12th house, the 6th house where we've got these daily practices, these refining practices, and it's the acts of service. And with Pisces, it's our sense of connectedness and our sense of imagination and our dreams and what's beyond. And so it's kind of about creating this reality where it isn't just what we've been told or who we think we are or the stories of our past. It's about creating reality yourself. It's about mutable earth and mutable water. It's about transmuting those energies. It's about transmuting how the body operates or has been operating, and allowing old stuff to dissolve and opening up the circuits and refining who we are, and then our ability to relate to others, our ability to connect with others, and our ability to receive messages becomes incredibly enhanced. And the sense of perception changes, creativity changes, your ability to don the perspective of characters in books or in shows that you're writing or in music that you're creating, and channeling art and being able to give your body over to the creative process in executing that art. It becomes this whole spiritual experience, and that's Pisces energy, and that's energy of connecting to something greater than yourself. And when doing these grounding practices, when having your bare feet on the earth and making that connection, you can release stored emotions, you can release past pains into the earth to be transmuted, that mutable earth. You can change your perception of it, and then you'll get glimpses of kind of the other person who was involved's perspective, or just the broader scope of how this was necessary for your learning. These kinds of things are accessible when you put intention into these practices and realize the value of how this helps you and how this is really important in that sense of service to the world and to yourself, really, to really honor all aspects of you, not just the body or not just the imaginations or not just your mystical, spiritual aspects, but all of it, the whole thing, the whole story that is in your feet. Another thing that's really valuable for Pisces energy is to regularly practice meditation in the sense of getting into trance states and just opening the vessel to insight that is wanting to visit you. And sometimes it'll be silent, and sometimes it won't happen instantaneously like in that session. But it's kind of about, again, that nervous system slowing down enough so that you become more of a open source for insight to come into you. And I've mentioned in the other videos about how the body holds information and experiences and traumatic experiences from our past, and I've talked about this more in the body as an antenna notes, and I've linked those below. But in these imagination states, in these trance states, it could be using color in the sense of closing your eyes and noticing the orbs of color which appear and disappear. And this is an interesting practice to do and compare what the difference is when you do it outside in daylight compared to at nighttime in the darkness. Or it can be doing body scans to really kind of immerse yourself into an area of the body and explore what's happened there, and allowing any holographic images to kind of come through. One thing that I've started doing recently, which is like a really pleasant form of meditation for me, and it works the Pisces Virgo axis, is being outside and softening my eyes to a point where I'm not focusing on anything specific, but I'm allowing light elements to attract my attention and all these light particles come into view, but it's not a focused thing, it's a really soft and receptive state. These are the kinds of moments that will help calibrate the body, and in these experiences you connect with those subtle realms and you connect with that Pisces energy of going beyond what is physical, and you also are connecting with your spirit and your soul, and it's in these experiences that you create that relationship with those subtle senses, and you see how your imagination is there as another form of data input. And because of these moments of attunement, when you're out in the world and when you are just operating in your daily life, when you get these perceptions, they come in so clear and so acute and so undeniable that you pay attention to them. And it's because of these slower moments, these periods in alpha and theta waves, where there is space enough to reset the nervous system, that kind of sets the scene for the future and for being able to be a recipient of these kinds of messages. And this goes for your dreams as well. It's really key for Pisces energy to keep a dream journal. It's not even a matter of deciphering every dream, it's just becoming practiced, that Virgo energy daily practice of honoring that part of your psyche. We spend like 6 years of our life in a dream, not even asleep, like in a dream. And so that's a lot of time and a lot of input that is there for you to enhance your experience. And when you cultivate that practice, it shows that you're honoring that, and then you get well versed in interpreting what messages are in your dreams, and your dreams become enhanced, and all these other realms open up for you that have always been there. But it's that attention and that paying credence to these aspects of your perception that are really gonna, it's like exercise or working a muscle. Like, you need to put the attention there in order to make the change. So these realms are easily accessible for Pisces, but honoring them is key, and honoring your body as a way, as a means to get these messages is just as key. In the Pisces Ascendant Chart Ruler video I did, which talks about how Jupiter influences energy, it's worth watching that video because I talk about this kind of stuff from a different angle, but in it I talk about how Jupiter being such an expansive and gaseous planet, there's a detail about borders and limitlessness in a sense, and Pisces energy field is quite like that. It's very open and it can be absorbent, and so it's just worth noting, as you do these refining practices, you get a better sense of energy which is yours and energy which is someone else's, and that's really key in order not to take on energies that don't belong to you, or identifying energies which are within you that aren't truly in resonance with who you really are, and then you know they're the parts of you that need to be released and which need to be looked at in order for them to not be filters to your perception. So understanding your energetic boundaries and what you will allow in your life and in your field and near your body is really important for Pisces energy, to ensure that you don't get corrupted by weird waves or like heavy emotional stuff that it will be natural for you to witness, but you can allow it to just pass through. It's not your responsibility to take on just because you can feel it. And one last thing I'll say is that your extrasensory perceptions are meant just for you. So it's there for you to help you navigate your path and to have experiences which enhance your spirit and your soul. And so it's not about receiving corroboration from other people about whether what you intuit is real, or needing to prove that you have a certain skill. It's very natural. It's as natural as breathing. So I hope this series helps you understand that you can lean into it and trust it, and it's designed to help you live a fuller experience. So I'm going to leave this video here, Pisces. I hope you found some value in it, and I wish you well.